You were opening for Steven Wilson Jr., just you and a guitar, and I was nervous for you, 3,000 people.
When I go out on a stage with just me and my guitar, last year I was opening for Need to Breathe in the very similar theaters and rooms, and just I have to trip over my ego walking on stage. I just have to show up as me. There's nothing I can plan to do or plan to say. I just have to meet everybody where I'm at.
This is what I saw at your show. You were just speaking from the heart. The last time I saw something similar was Brandi Carlile.
When I was writing The Alchemist, I was grieving the woman that I was, and I hadn't yet known the woman that I am becoming. Concerts are church. It's actually like our gathering place to all realize that we're not that different at all. Losing my grandmother, she was my best friend in the whole world. And so the minute, she was gone, it was like, now where's my North Star? I would write songs that I need right now.
To me, that is the universe's beautiful way of aligning things, that you were writing before you needed it, what you needed.
And I don't even think when you're writing an album, you quite know that you're writing an album yet.
And one of the sweetest things on your album, you've got this voice note, like a voicemail that she left you.
We all have voicemails from our grandmother. So she's calling me about the tornado, and she says something like, there's a tornado coming and it's about to get bad, and I just want you to know that.
Bre Kennedy, welcome to the Nashville Insider.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you're here. This is magic.
Yeah, it is. It's serendipitous.
It's serendipitous, and I'm all about the universe aligning in the right way. And so I have to tell the audience about our little Kismet story here.
Our love story.
Our love story. Because last week I was sitting in St. Louis. I saw Steven Wilson Jr.'s show. I had been excited about that show, oh my gosh, for so long. We'll talk about Steven in a minute. But you were opening for Steven Wilson Jr., which you're going to tell us all about your friendship with him too. But it was so cool because I got there early, which is not always the case with me. And I got there early, and my friend and I, we were in the balcony because we were old and we needed seats. I was like, I can't be in the crowd. And anyway, you walked out, just you and a guitar. And I was nervous for you, 3,000 people. It has to be so daunting.
It is. Well, it's just so it's humbling. I mean, I was telling you earlier, it's like when I go out on a stage with just me and my guitar, it's like last year I was opening for Need to Breathe in the very similar theaters and rooms, and just I have to trip over my ego on stage, walking on stage, because I just have to show up as me. There's nothing I can plan to do or plan to say. I just have to meet everybody where I'm at. And luckily that night at Steven's show, everybody was so welcoming. I mean, the minute I walked on stage, nobody even heard me sing yet. And they were like, yeah, Bre. It was amazing.
It was like, I turned to my friend Patty and I said, this is not typical. Like, I've seen a lot of shows in St. Louis and it's cool. But this audience was wrapped in. I mean, we were locked in. Everybody was with you. And it was just beautiful. And I felt like that's probably the power, too, of Steven's fans and the music, because they're really like here for the authenticity of what he's bringing to the table. And you, too. But it was crazy. I was just like mouth on the floor. I was like, who is this? I'm instantly following you on Instagram. And I said to my friend Patty, I said, I want to have her on the podcast. I've got to have her on the podcast. And so fast forward.
Now we're here.
Now we're here. Magic, because I had this wild thought that I thought, gosh, you're about to go on this tour. So, we're recording this a week early, but tomorrow, I think, you leave for Knoxville?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
So tomorrow morning, you start the East Coast tour.
Yeah.
And for The Alchemist, which, y'all, you got to get this album and get it on vinyl.
Yes, it's on vinyl. I'm so happy.
You hear every little thing in a different way. But yeah, so I was like, wait, maybe there is a chance that you could just squeeze in a podcast before your tour.
It was perfect timing. I'm so happy you asked me, because I really have been go for like months, since like last November. And this week is the first time in months that I've been able to just be home and like have a slow morning with coffee and my dog. And you messaged me and I was like, I'm going to be in Franklin. I'm going to be in this area. I have time. And I'm just in a place where I want to be able to talk about this album and my story. I lost my grandmother in January. I mentioned that on stage, and I haven't really had the words for that yet until recently. So I feel good to talk about it, and I'm grateful to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. And thank you for trusting me to talk about this with you. I feel like we are kindred spirits in this
Yeah.
way because I really feel like your grief journey is something a lot of people go through, but they
Mm.
don't know how to put it into words. And it's interesting, even as a songwriter, you said you've struggled with the words a little bit. And
Yeah.
I think of songwriters as, the perfect wordsmiths. So, but let's back up a little bit because your grandmother, I mean, we all love our grandmothers,
Yeah.
but your grandmother is definitely more than grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say my grandmother was a North Star for me in who I wanted to be as a woman. She just truly found the flowers in the concrete and the joy, despite coming from an absolutely broken home and in and out of the foster care systems when she was younger. And she raised her brother and sisters, and like you would never know. She just really showed up. Everyone loved her. She made everyone feel good and laugh and would just do anything to make people smile. And so she was to me, goals. She was the mark, and she was my best friend in the whole world. And so losing her, you can prepare yourself for that when somebody's in hospice. She was in hospice for 9 months. And I was one of her caretakers, and you can prep as much as you want, but the minute, she was gone, it was like, no, like now where's my North Star? And like now, how do I navigate my life without that person here to like make me smile and remind me how to be? Um, and that's where I'm at right now is learning how to live in a world without that person here.
Oh, and it's amazing because she really did a lot with I'm fascinated by someone in her generation being able you said she bought her own home.
Yeah, she bought her own home with her own money. She worked at a place called OC Tanner and worked her way up for like 30 years. Her partner of 30 years, they were very much in love and still are. And he just wasn't allowed to live with her. She said, if he lives with me, I'll kill him.
And honestly, I love that so much
Me
because
too.
I feel like we are more at this point in time, we're willing to say that,
Mm.
but we aren't the first ones to think it. And I loved when I read that somewhere that she had said, "Yeah, you can't live with me." And I was like, I love this woman.
Yeah, she just created her place of peace.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk about it a lot on stage. Like her home is covered in wildflowers, and it's just like there's hummingbirds everywhere. She's like a modern day Snow White. And her partner comes and brings her flowers. Like,
Oh.
just she figured out how to take her trauma and her history and make something beautiful with it. And then she chose to protect that. And that's what I mean by like, that's what I want to be like, She just found what worked for her and lived her life out that way. What a beautiful life.
So beautiful. And one of the sweetest things on your album, it's worth again listening on vinyl all the way till the end, but I even listened to it in my car this morning to hear her sweet voice because you've got this voice note, like a voicemail that she left you.
Yeah.
When was that? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So at the very end of my album, The Alchemist, it's a voicemail from her. We all have voicemails from our grandmother, whether her Madonna version of, Marilyn version of Happy Birthday, or just calling me and saying, why don't you call me more, Brianna? But this particular voicemail was in 2020. It was right before the tornado hit in Nashville, literally the day before. And she's calling me because she's worried. She was always worried. There could be a fire in California. I live in Nashville. And she'd be like, I just want to make sure you're okay, So she's calling me about the tornado, and she says something like, and it's at the end of the album, there's a tornado coming and it's about to get bad. And I just want you to know that me and your mom's door is always open for you. And at the time, I just heard that as, oh, my mom lives with my grandma now. I didn't know that because I didn't grow up with my mother. She was struggling with addiction my whole life. And So that was news to me and opened this door of wanting to get to know her. But now that voicemail is like this omen, a good omen of like, you're about to be invited into a door and a whole chapter of getting to know your mother and this generational healing that's about to happen within my own garden, you know? And now it's forever etched in a record. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And so you were writing this album while your grandmother was sick.
Yeah.
So tell us about The Alchemist, just the album, how it came to be, because every song, it feels so extremely personal. That has to be a little daunting to put out there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting chills now because I couldn't have known.
Yeah.
When I was writing The Alchemist, I was coming out of an 8-year relationship with somebody that spanned my whole 20s. So I was grieving that. I was grieving the woman that I was. And I hadn't yet known the woman that I am becoming, you know? And I don't even think when you're writing an album, you quite know that you're writing an album yet. So I was in grieving and I was constantly looking for the good in grief and on my journey. And I just started writing songs again when things started coming into 3D. You know, when you're in your grief journey, it's covered by the depression or rain cloud, and then one day you wake up and so you start seeing the world in 3D again, and songs started coming, and then I got a call from my grandmother at the top of last year, and she said, "Do you know how to put a trust together?" I was like, "No." I could barely do my taxes, woman.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, I need help, and I want you to come help me." And my grandma never asked for help. And so as I'm writing The Alchemist, I'm recording The Alchemist, which is based on, you know, the book, of course, The Alchemist and the journey that we go through. But wow, I could have never imagined that writing these songs on my journey to healing within myself and then diving into losing my grandmother, that I would write songs that I need right now in my valley low of grief, losing her.
Yeah. I mean, it is, to me, that is the universe's beautiful way of aligning things.
Yes.
That you were writing before you needed it, what you needed.
100%. Well, songs are spells. They are. Words are spells. What we say matters. How we talk to ourselves matters. I'm learning every day. But yeah, my grandmother just asked me to come out and help her. And then she disclosed to me that she was sick with COPD, and they diagnosed her with like a month in hospice, and she had 9 months of beautiful life. And it was me and my mom and my little sister, quite literally in her garden, pulling out weeds. Like, I can't make it up. You know, I have all this footage of it. This time spent with her made me take a step back from how I thought my life should have been on my journey. And I was forced to be. I mean, facing death really forces you to be present. And I'm forever grateful for that time with my grandma last year, because she is the alchemist of her own life. And now I'm learning how to be after losing her.
Yeah, I think she's still your North Star. As you talk about it, I think, you know, she has taken on a different role in your life, but she's still there.
Yes.
And so I want to rewind a little bit, because your music before that, you were already in Nashville writing and playing. And you told me a story earlier, which I thought was just so fun. I mean, you've played Basement East, then you've also been on tour opening for Willie Nelson. You've done so many things. You've played so many cool venues. So kind of walk me back a little bit to the beginning. How'd you get here?
Oh, it's a wild ride. I mean, it's the alchemist journey, truly. I lived in California. I'm originally from Utah. My dad moved us to California in my most formative years. I went to high school in Orange County and went to LA after, because that was the closest major city.
And you went for music? You thought music was always the thing?
Yeah. I sang in the bathroom of my high school, and this girl who was on Radio Disney said, "You have a beautiful voice. You should come do this showcase at House of Blues in Hollywood." I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm like at the time writing songs in my bedroom, listening to Dave Matthews and like I just wasn't in a place yet where I knew who I was as an artist, but I did that showcase and it took me into a whole world of songwriting. I knew I didn't know how to say my story yet, so I wanted to help artists write their story. And I came to Nashville in 2014 for sessions. And I watched Jillian Jacqueline and Mark Beeson and Topher Brown at a place called the Tippler, which isn't there anymore, but you might know it.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah,
that
because
was a
I've
good
been here
one.
now 11 years, and I know you've been here a while. It was just the first time I'd ever seen people sitting next to each other, cheersing their beers and talking about their story. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. You know, in LA, I was writing pop songs for pop artists and sync music. And I was like, I want to learn how to honor 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. How do I crack that code? So I drove my Nissan Maxima here. And in 2015, I just worked at burger restaurants and breweries. And then by night, I would hang out with my friends and learn how to tell our stories. And it wasn't until 2019 that I put out my first EP, Jealous of Birds. And a week later, I was opening for Sheryl Crow at the Ryman. And I just...
Sheryl Crow at the Ryman. I mean,
Oh, it was amazing.
yes,
She's amazing.
Yes. Like, did you feel at that moment, like, was that the moment you felt like Nashville made sense for you?
Yeah. I mean, actually, from the minute I got here, I knew Nashville made sense for me. Even in a time when everyone in LA was like, what are you doing in 2015? Why are you moving to Nashville? I was like, this feels like my home. And so I always encourage people, follow the pull.
Yes.
I could not imagine if I hadn't gotten my little car and like drove here on not even a dream. I was just like pulled here. And then I met my people right away. So Nashville made sense to me right away. But it really started clicking to me, of course, when I learned how to be vulnerable and imperfect with my story and just talk about the true grit of my story and not sugarcoat it. And that's when it started working. And when I was just making music with my friends and having a good time and there was no ego around it, that's when I was like, oh, this is making sense for me. And I think that's true in any aspect of our life when we try to hold, you know, the reins and control it. It just doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. And I feel like it's funny. I think probably anyone who's listening who's done that drive to Nashville, mine was not quite as long as yours. Mine was just about 500 miles. So you probably drove through Arkansas on your way. But I remember that feeling. I remember the feeling of when I said I'm going to move to Nashville. Like when I said it out loud, it had always been a dream. But then that minute you drive in, to me, and for every time after that I lived in Germany for a while and I'd fly into B&A and I'd remember like the air is different to me. Even though right now it's kicking my ass with allergies.
Yes.
It's different. There's something about it that you can almost like, you can smell the creative vibes a little bit. And so, yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, this is home. And I think a lot of people feel that. You get here and you're like, okay, this is the energy that I've been looking for.
Yes.
But I love what you said about then being really vulnerable, because this is what I saw at your show, that you were just speaking from the heart. Like I won't say never. You know what I will say about this? And now the chills are happening again. The last time that I saw what I saw when I saw you, the last time I saw something similar was Brandi Carlile
My heart.
at, I think it was at 12th and Porter
Wow.
in like 2006.
Wow.
And I remember it was the same feeling. That's the last time I had that feeling, Bre.
I have full body chills.
Me
because,
too.
Can I tell you, my first job when I was 16 was at Starbucks, and Pandora would play, and it was broken. And it kept playing This Story by Brandi Carlile over and over. I remember that was the first time I felt freedom was getting a paycheck and being like, I'm going to get out of here. You know, I'm going to go start my dream. And I didn't know how to tell my story yet, but I heard Brandi and just her voice and that war cry. And I'm not kidding. I was like, I want to do that. Like Brandy Carlisle is a big reason. I mean, of course, I grew up with like Aretha Franklin and Stevie Nicks and Bonnie and all of that, like growing up with that. But as a 16-year-old girl, like hearing Brandy Carlisle just scream her emotions, I was like, I'm going to do that. I've always wanted to work with Brandy. I'm such a mega fan, but I actually drove to St. Louis to see her.
Stop.
I can't remember what theater it was, maybe the Fox.
Yeah.
I drove after work when I first moved to Nashville to see Brandy because I was like, I have to see her live. And I thought, that's how I want to make people feel live. So she's just been this similar thread.
Such a full circle. Yes.
So that's so crazy.
This is the invisible string. Okay, so Brandy, please call Bre. I want you guys to do a duet. Oh my gosh. No, that was the feeling. I couldn't put it into words until just now that I sat there like, and that was the last time I felt like that, where I sat at a show and was like, whoa. And I did tell the people sitting next to me at the show last week, I said, you're seeing something. Because, I think people who aren't, they're music fans.
Yeah.
But they like the music in a different way than those of us who are obsessive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to recognize that and remember that they're not all weirdos like us. But I couldn't help it. I was like, no, I need everyone in this section to understand that like you're seeing something between what you did in this vulnerable space of telling your stories and singing the songs that, I mean, I assume you had a set list. I assume you did, but it didn't feel like you did. Did you? You had a set list, surely.
Not written in my head.
Yeah.
But I definitely I had 30 minutes, and
yeah.
I'm such like an auntie. And when I get on stage, it's like my living room. Or maybe I'm in y'all's living room.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tend to talk, but I had 30 minutes. And there were so many songs I wanted to play. But I just feel it out in real time. Just like, okay, we're locked in. Okay, we're laughing now. Let's do something a little bit more upbeat. Let's sing together. That feels like people are down to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also just being brave and taking risks. That's my favorite part of playing live, is pushing myself out of my comfort zone. It's literally why I love playing live. I can't predict what is going to happen. I can't control who's in the room, but I can meet people where I'm at, and I can offer who I am. That's all I have.
Yeah.
And when that's met with, a warm hug, like it was at Steven's show or at any show, it's like, oh, this is restoring my faith in humanity. That concerts are church. It's actually like our gathering place to all realize that we're not that different at all.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I think it was interesting because you said when we were talking on the phone that you and Steven have played shows. I think you said the number you used was 9. You were like, we've played rooms with 9 people.
Yeah, we've truly we've opened for each other. My album Note to Self, I played the album release show at Basement East. Steven opened. When he put out his album, he had a show at the end when he was first, crafting his show and asked me to open, so watching one of your dear friends and honestly one of your favorite artists be 100% themselves the whole time and see nobody really notice yet, and then everybody go, oh my God, this is the thing I need. This is the artist I needed.
Yes.
It's like, it's such a gift, and it's just proof. I mean, I say it every night, like when I open for him, it is proof that there's good in this world, but it is proof that people really want authenticity and true grit.
Yes.
That's it.
And I think that's what, when you said that about, that you guys had done these shows, and I love that you've opened for each other and that you've had small rooms and big rooms, and you're going to have so many bigger rooms. But I love that I could tell in that evening that it was like, this is real. This isn't playing to a certain room. It is in the sense that I do believe you were picking up on the energy of the crowd that you had, but it was just you being you. And this is why I was able to just immediately go play that album over and over. Like like I'd heard it 1,000 times. It was so cool.
That's so amazing
It
to
was so
hear.
cool. I know. And for everybody who, because your tour is how many weeks? You've got Knoxville. You've got a big East Coast tour coming.
Yeah. So I just finished a West Coast run of the Alchemist tour, and then I opened those shows for Steven, and now I'm going back out on the East Coast starting actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow, April 22nd. So for everyone listening to this, because this will be April 28th, go find Bre and watch like the most magical experience. It's unbelievable. And
Thank you.
I feel like I have so many questions, but I want to pause for a second because we've been talking about this music and I don't want people running to Spotify and leaving us. Instead, you should just play us a song.
Yeah, I would love to.
Why don't we do that?
We're gonna try and fit this on this sweet
Yes.
chair. These are also the most comfortable chairs, by the way.
They're great for sitting, not so great for guitars.
Yeah, that's why I brought a little one.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a cute guitar.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna play Good Grief.
Okay.
This is a song that I played opening for Steven. And it's on The Alchemist, and it's about those seemingly mundane moments that you skip over on your journey to accolade. Like for me, when I was really starting to heal, and even now this morning, like watching my dog sunbathe, or just like my friend coming home and being like, we're making pasta. And the silent mornings that we take for granted when we're in a rush. And just honoring those good moments as we're trying to heal. I'm dreaming again. My point of view is better than it's been. I sold my guitar for rent. Now I'm dancing in the kitchen with my best friend. And we're flying, yeah, we're trying to not take it all so seriously. It's good grief. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. On the other side of the bed now, where I couldn't sleep, promise me this could be good. It's a blessing and a burden, the way it washes over me, and the proof is in the hurting that's running down my cheeks when I'm crying. Find the rest in the mess, a little relief. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. On the other side of a dark sky hanging over me, promise me this could be. For just a second, everything feels like it's gonna be a little less bitter, a little more sweet, like it ought to be. Heaven ain't so far for standing right in front of me. Finally, I can let it be. Good. Good grief.
Unbelievable.
Like even then, I'm like thinking about my little dog this morning.
Oh.
Just like the little moment.
Oh my gosh. I had so many thoughts during that, but I just have to say the girl who heard you singing in the bathroom, Thank you. Wherever you are.
Savannah Burho, thank you.
Savannah, thank you. I'm so thankful that she had the courage, because in high school we don't always say nice things to each other.
That is exactly right.
And
She
she
was
did.
such a light. Yeah. Always was. Still is. Just such a light. And really, yeah, I don't know that I would have believed in myself if she had not actually. She might not know that.
Wow. Well, I
Yeah.
hope she hears this, because that's such a ripple effect that now we all get to experience your
Mm,
writing and your voice and all of it. I mean, that it's so healing. This album is so healing.
thank you. It's healing me in real time. Truly, it's humbling.
And we all need it right now. I feel like
Yeah.
it's so timely. And I think that's what's so cool about music, is that this will be timely 50 years from now. But right now it feels like that song is so needed. It has so many layers.
I think the world is breaking our heart.
Yeah. Some days it feels way too heavy.
Yeah.
But then I have to say, like, you saw your dog this morning in the sunshine. I mean, actually, I felt that way when I was like giddy when you were like, yes, I can do your podcast.
Yeah.
So we have to, like, these little moments. I love celebrating the little moments.
Me too.
And that's what that's about. The song, it's like,
Yes.
even in dark, dark times,
Yeah.
we all have them. We all go through grief
Yes.
that is in the moment unimaginable. And I think for anyone who's listening to this, who's in that,
Mhm.
if you're sitting in that moment, I hope that that song is a little bit of a healing pause.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I could hope for with this whole album. I mean, there are songs like Another Side of You on the record that are really fun. And obviously, there's some lightness on this record because I always say that, like, my highest self is like me as a willow tree and my inner child in its shade, you know? So the record, I wanted to have a lot of lightness, but also, yeah, it's heavy being human. It's true grit. It's just part of our experience is looking for light because we're forced to.
Mhm.
And
But we're not that different.
we're not that different.
And I think that's, gosh, you've been given such a gift to make that so obvious to us, to like
Mm.
bring people together from all walks of life.
Thanks, girl. That
So
means so much.
cool.
You're such a light. You really are.
Oh, this is amazing. And you have written with some of my favorite songwriters too. Like your song that you wrote with Lori McKenna.
Mm.
Tell me what it's called again. I always mess it up.
It's a long title. Before I Have a Daughter.
Before I Have a Daughter.
Yeah.
And okay, tell me how y'all wrote this one.
Yeah. I mean, I am also a mega fan of Lori McKenna. I love her songwriting so much. Humble and Kind, the first time I heard it was her version, actually. And I couldn't hear it any other way. Like, I could turn it on right now. I'm going to turn it on when I'm driving home as a reminder. It's just her songwriting honors the reality of everyday life.
Yeah.
And with a keep going, kid.
Yes.
That it makes me feel seen on my journey and makes me feel held. And I think that is like a talent to be able to use your words to make people feel less alone.
It's
And
unbelievable. How does she do
yes.
it, by the way? She can make us all feel like we are a mom with 5 kids.
Yeah.
I have no kids.
I'm in the kitchen.
I'm in the kitchen with
Stealing
5
kisses.
kids and this husband that I don't have. How does she do it?
That was everything to me. That's exactly right. Well, I mean, Before I Have a Daughter came from actually a conversation of, just small talk. It was over Zoom. It was a songwriting session over Zoom. And she's like, where are you from? How long you been in Nashville? Do you have kids? Small talk. And I made a joke like, before I have a daughter, I want to learn how to do my taxes. And she was like, most people say before I have kids, and you said before I have a daughter. And I was like, no.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and it sent me on a whole journey that I always say I hope the song pays for the therapy session that she gave me, because I had no idea the power of a song. I had no idea that we were going to write a song that quite literally had me reaching out to my mother for the first time in my life.
Because you said earlier, you didn't grow up with her in your life really at all.
No.
And then it wasn't until your grandma got sick? Was that when that happened?
Yeah, it was it was right before my grandma got sick, but it was definitely tied into this chapter of getting to know my grandmother more and
Mhm.
specifically my mom. My childhood was mostly with my father. He was a single father, and I had known that my mother was, going through her struggle with addiction. I lived in California, she lived in Utah, and I just wasn't quite ready yet to open that door and open that Pandora's box because I knew I wanted to. I just wasn't ready yet. And it wasn't until my grandma started calling me in 2020 and left that voice message that's at the end of The Alchemist saying, "Your mom lives with me now." And she would just be like, "Just come over, just come visit." She knew what she was
Mhm.
doing. She was setting the scene for my mom and I to heal. And my mom was at that point sober and clean for like 7 years um, and was just asking for a chance to be talked to. Could not have planned that right when I wrote Before I Have a Daughter, this was all happening, right? Timing is everything. So I'm telling Lori that in reality, and before I have a daughter, I really thought I wanted to hit all these accolades, in my career and in my relationships. But really, I wanted to be able to have the bravery to talk to my mom. And I was really scared, right? It's always worst case scenario. It's going to be worse in our mind than it ever was. And it was so simple and peaceful to sit down with my mother after Lori and I wrote the song and just ask her what it was like to be a mom for the first time. And my mom said words that I say every day. I'm just doing my best. And I just thought, oh, you and me were the same. We have different vices. We have different coping skills, but we're the
Wow.
same.
Ooh, and I think, oh gosh, I mean, because it's, Mother's Day is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And I think mother-daughter relationships are hard. They're
Yes.
really hard. Honestly,
Yes.
being a daughter is the reason I don't have children.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm honest, I always joked and said if I could promise
Amazing.
the world, like if I knew I'd have boys, I think I could do
Mm.
it. But I was scared of girls. I'm still kind of scared of us. We're great, but we're a
Girl,
lot.
you're not alone. That's literally what I talked to Lori about.
It's a
I'm
scary
scared of a
thing.
girl. I'm scared
Yeah.
of a girl that I just want to put in bubble wrap and be like, don't do the things I did. Because I know
Yes.
what you're going to do.
Yep.
But also, they have to live and learn. And I'm sure my mom felt the same about me.
Yes. And to your point, like when you said, your mom said she's just doing her best. It's hard. I can only imagine how hard it is as a mother. I remind myself sometimes it's also
Mhm.
my mom's first time on earth.
Yes.
And that's a struggle because they're learning as they go.
Yeah.
And we don't always
Mm.
have a lot of grace for that as the kids.
Yeah.
So it's tough, I think, from both sides. And gosh, like, I'm not even surprised that you reached out and that you had this conversation because I can tell you're just this person. This is who you are. But I know
Mhm.
that had to be really scary.
Yeah. It was really scary. It still is really scary. I'm interfacing with a different mom now. I'm interfacing with my mother who lost her mother.
Ugh.
And that's the first time she's experiencing that. And it's the first time I'm experiencing that. And it's just a new episode. It's like this season is for the fans because it's so humbling and we are, we'll have conversations where we're fighting like cat and dog and I'm like, "Where did this come from?" And like, "Oh, that's just mother and daughter." That's real, recognized real, and it's a mirror. My mom is a mirror and I'm a mirror for my mom. And just yesterday, I called my mom and I said, "Hey, I'm really sorry that I got upset the other day and frustrated with you and lost my patience." And she said, "Bre, that's okay. I That's totally understandable. And I'm really sorry I did too." It was just like accountability.
Yeah.
And no matter what my mom and I go through, we can sit down and like have McDonald's together and just be like, life, right?
Yeah.
And then turn on like Chicks and just listen and scream Natalie Merchant in the car and just being like, "Yeah, you're exactly right. This is her first time here." And I think the biggest lesson of my life, if I just had to say for every part of my life and including this journey with my mother, is grace. Like always returning to grace, like having grace for myself and having grace for my mother, having grace for my sister, that is always the north, and like learning how to get back to that. And now that my grandma's not here, just knowing like my grandma always had grace for my mother. Her doors were always open for my mother.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
I think, that's honestly probably like a perfect place for us to close out before you're going to play us one more song. But I think grace is the thing
Yeah.
that we all need to remember. Give more of it.
Give more of it.
Give it freely.
Yes.
It's hard to do sometimes.
Go find it. Go search for it.
Yeah.
It's worth looking for. And it really does allow two people to sit at a table.
Yeah. And that's really all we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It really is. Why do we make it so hard?
We really do.
So a little more grace, a lot more love.
Yeah.
And y'all listen to Bre's album. I listen to all of it. All your stuff is so good.
Thank you.
You have a new single coming out. I'm so excited about that one. But before we head out,
Yeah.
and since we're talking about your song with Lori, I'd love for you to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll play it. I think it's actually pretty on the nose for Mother's Day. Mother's Day was always really hard for me. And
I struggle with those days in general. Mother's Days and Father's Days to me are like,
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do with these?
what do we do with these?
Can
What do
we
they
just
mark?
Not. Maybe let's just
Are we
enjoy our
supposed
people
to-
always.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, celebration is a lost art.
It's a lost art. And I always feel crummy on the social media posts, like people do them
Yeah.
and I don't do them because, I lost my dad when I was young and I know what that feels like. And so I don't want the people who have lost someone to feel weird, but I don't want my mom to feel like how great her daughter didn't do a post.
But you know what's
We've
awkward?
complicated it.
Being human.
Yes.
And navigating all of it. Like,
Yeah.
we don't get to choose the cards we're dealt,
No.
but we do get to choose what we do with them.
yeah.
And like, that's what me and my mom are doing. And it's awkward. And like, posting is like, I can't be performative about it. It's
Yeah.
hard right now.
yeah.
My mom is still on her journey and figuring out how to live in a world without her mom. And it's easy for her to want to go back to the things that worked.
Yeah.
But right now I'm in a place where all I can do is offer my mom love and grace and be mostly grateful that I'm here because of my mom. No matter what indifference we have, I would not be here today talking to you if my mom didn't fall in love with my dad and believe in something. Even if she went through failures, even if she had trial and error, like that was conceived in love.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for her for being brave and having the audacity to try. Like,
yes.
that's all she was
having
doing.
the audacity to try.
Yeah, that's all moms and dads are doing. That's all anybody's doing is like,
Yeah.
I always say my people are the people who have the audacity to wake up and try to be better than they were the day before.
Yes.
That's all I can
That's
ask of
all
you.
we can ask. It's all we can do. I love it. And this song is just, to me, it's that. This was like when you played this one, I think this was also a moment where everyone kind of went a little crazy. You got people in on this one. Did you expect that?
I have just played this song from so many different perspectives now. The
Yeah.
song has grown with me. It will still continue to grow with me when I maybe have a daughter one day.
Mm-hmm.
And every night that I play it, I am in real time being taught something. So I think that's maybe what you could feel on stage. This song is evergreen to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited to hear it again.
All right. This song is called Before I Have a Daughter. Before I have a daughter, I wanna build myself a garden, the kind I have to water on the good days and the bad ones too. Then I'll try college and realize it's not for me. And the takeaway is a heart will break in the time it takes to make lemonade of my family tree. And then I'll grow up made mistakes and find a way to find some dumb love. Then I'll start believing that life is a merry-go-round up to me down, until I start to see that the spine was only building me up. Look at me now, I'm making peace, making up for all that lost time, learning how to see myself in my mother's eyes before I have a daughter. I've always been a driver, guided by my fear and ability to dream, stubborn, non-stop fighter, and I'm terrified that one day she'll get that for me. I have to watch her go. Made mistakes the way I did, and I was like she was. When I started believing life is a merry-go-round up to me down, until I start to see that the spine was only building me up. Look at me now, I'm making peace, making up for all that lost time, learning how to see myself in my father's eyes before I have a daughter. And I'm going up, making mistakes, breaking the chains before I break any more hearts. Fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters who love like you do. The girls become lovers, returning to mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. Before I have a daughter, I wanna build myself a garden, the kind I have to water on the good days and the bad ones too. Wow.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. That talk was really, really great for me before I go on this tour, and just set the perfect tone for the
Well, now I
Alchemist
just
tour.
want to go with you.
Well,
so-
come on, girl.
I'm gonna find a couple dates. I'm coming. I'm coming. I didn't get enough in just one show, so yes. Yeah. I love you. I say that freely when I believe it. In
I love
people.
you too.
I just feel like you're incredible. I'm so excited for more people to get to know you
Thank
and
you.
for your future duet with Brandy Carlisle at Red Rocks. Let's go ahead and just
We're
put
just
it
gonna
in the
knock
world.
on the wood.
I'm putting it out there. I want to be there for that. You're absolutely incredible. So
Thank you.
you for spending time with us. Y'all follow Bre and get the new album, The Alchemist, and check out the tour dates.
Yeah, I'm coming to a city near you.
Yes. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Sometimes a girl's gotta find her way on her own, free to roam and make mistakes.